What's going on, everyone? Data Report here for datareport.info, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Pandemic Update. We have one COVID outbreak to report on today, and that is at Bluewater Health. Bluewater Health, which is, I believe, up in Canada, they are reporting that they have a few COVID cases, and therefore they are declaring a COVID outbreak in their facility, which does put some limitations on things that can happen, like such as number of visitors and so on. It looks like it's between patients. No staff members are effective or affected with this. No new COVID positives report again today, so I guess that's some good news, but I do question sometimes. Are all the high-profile people, celebrities or politicians, are they actually disclosing their case? I don't know. We'll find out this week. You would think we'd see some cases from the State of the Union address, but so far, none reported. Take a look at the CDC transmission map. 57.08% of the counties in this country are at high transmission. Substantial makes up 22.97%, moderate 14.9%, and low is 15.06%. So, high transmission in the U.S. is dropping. Even in Puerto Rico, there's less counties with high transmission. There's some substantial counties. However, take a look at Alaska. There's actually an increase in the number of counties with high transmission in Alaska. Taking a look at the latest variant proportion update. XBB.1.5 now makes up 74.7% of the cases. BQ.1.1 is 15.3% of the cases. BQ.1 is 5.1% of the cases. XBB is 1.9% of the cases. CH1.1 is 1.3% of the cases. Taking a look at the Walgreens map. There are some changes to Walgreens now. Some interesting ones. First off, the national positivity is at 33.1%. Prior week is 33.6%. Take a look here. You're seeing some green, but you're also seeing some red. Vermont, for example, is seeing a sudden increase in COVID cases, or COVID positivity, with the number of tests being up. Vermont is now at 25.9% positive. The prior week was 10.5%. That's an increase of 15.4%. But they're also seeing 27 tests this week, 19 last week. Okay, small amounts of testing, but that is a legitimate rise. How about New Hampshire? New Hampshire's bright red as well. 37.8% positivity in New Hampshire. Prior week, 30.3%. A difference of 7.5%. So that's a 7.5% increase. Current week, 37 tests. Previous week, 33 tests. Again, small amounts of testing, but a big increase. Ohio, also an increase. 32.4% this week, 27% last week, difference of 5.4%. Current week's testing 510, previous week 556. Kentucky is actually seeing a big decrease in the number of cases. Current week's positivity is 30.4%. Prior week is 41.1%. That's down 10.7%. And this is a legitimate drop because their testing is also down. 352 this week, 401 last week. Connecticut. What's going on in Connecticut? 35% positivity this week, 29.4% last week. That's a difference of 5.6%. 143 tests this week, 194 last week. How about Nebraska? Nebraska, 32.6% positivity this week, 22% last week. That's an increase of 10.6%. 135 tests this week, 132 tests last week. New Mexico, 25.6% positivity this week, 22.8% last week, with a difference of 2.9%. 199 tests this week, 224 last week. How about Florida? We haven't checked on Florida in a while. 34.9% positive this week, 33.4% last week, difference of 1.5%, higher, 2,853 tests this week, 3,476 tests last week. And we'll do one more, California. California positivity is rising with also an increase in the number of tests, 33.4% positive this week, 32% positive last week, difference of 1.4%, total testing 1,525, prior week 1,498. So there are areas in this country where the positivity is legitimately rising. And without even looking at Pennsylvania on Walgreens, Pennsylvania cases this past week actually were up. Taking a look at New York State, 1,880 cases in the latest update, 3.9% positivity, with the 7-day average being 4.6%. Taking a look at the latest hospitalizations in New York State, 2,176 people hospitalized and 257 people in the ICU. Taking a look at the latest death numbers. And the latest death numbers indicate we had another week that was over 3,000. In fact, Friday, 90 deaths were added. Saturday, 29 deaths were added. So, this week we had close to about 3,400 deaths, which is just absolutely horrible. These numbers need to get lower, and, well, they're not. Alright, taking a look at some cases. Japan today reported 13,740 cases. South Korea reported 12,051 cases. Russia, 12,347 cases. Taiwan, 17,199 cases. Austria, 3,286 cases. And, let's see here. UAE, 72 cases. Alrighty, let's also take a look at some weekly trends real quickly, and we'll end it after that. Greece is reporting a 200% increase in cases. 92,359 cases this week versus the previous 7 days being 30,807. Russia's up 31%. Switzerland continues to be up 2,500%. And we're actually starting to see people report their positive cases from Switzerland on Twitter. So that's a sign that Switzerland is continuing to get worse. But in the most recent update, no deaths out of Switzerland, which that's some good news. But if they're testing positive, the chances are long COVID cases are increasing in Switzerland. Alrighty, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you find my content enjoyable or informative, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below. See you next time, and stay safe, everyone.